11 Alive News at 11 p.m. starts now.
Wherever you are, we will hunt you down in any hole that you may be residing in and bring you to custody. Period.
Tonight, 4 people shot to death and a suspect on the run. For several hours now, authorities have been working to try and piece together what was behind the killing of 3 men and 1 woman. At this hour, the case is centered on one suspect. He is a 40-year-old named Andre Longmore. He is wanted for murder. Police say if you see him, do not approach him. Less than an hour ago, authorities sharing this image of what they say is the suspect's vehicle, a black GMC Acadia from 2017 with Georgia tag number DHF 756. We have team coverage for you tonight. Coming up, 11 Alive's Molly Oaks shares how those in the area had to protect themselves in the wake of the shootings. But let's begin where the case sits at this hour, right here, right now. 11 Alive's Teresa Bowles joins us.
Jeff, I just checked with the U.S. Marshal's office, who was also assisting with that search. A spokesman told me no updates at this time. But after watching a truck full of food pull into the police station, it seems as though officers are in for a long search. A jump scare in the middle of a quiet Saturday morning.
I heard blah. When I heard that one single shot, I kind of jumped back.
Frankie Worth says he watched it all from his window, afraid he was going to be next.
I saw my man's arms rise up in the sky. Then he dropped his arms back down, and I thought he was going to take a second shot.
40-year-old Andre Longmore took at least 3 more shots and fled. Hampton police say 3 men and a woman are now dead, and law enforcement has been looking for him since shortly before 11 in the morning, leaving this Dogwood Lakes neighborhood shocked and terrified.
The only thing that had me shook was just how cool and collected he was about the whole thing.
And now thoughts.
This is a sad day in Hampton. It's not normal for us, and as a community, we will grieve together.
And prayers.
We're lifting up the families of the victims, oh God, right now in the name of Jesus.
From Hampton Police Chief James Turner and Mayor Ann Tarley. Turner says police are investigating at least 4 crime scenes, and Longmore's wanted for murder. The sheriff's office is offering a $10,000 reward for any information that leads to an arrest. And to the residents who tell me they are afraid inside of their homes, Henry County Sheriff Reginald Scandrett left this message as deputies continue their search.
Unfortunately, doing these type of senseless crimes, I'm going to set us directly to you, Mr. Longmore. Wherever you are, we will hunt you down in any hole that you may be residing in and bring you to custody. Period.
And as this hunt continues, the sheriff says if you see Longmore, call 911. Do not interact with him as he is believed to be armed and dangerous. Live in Hampton, Teresa Bowles, 11 Alive News.
This story has garnered national headlines, but it has hit very hard in the community of Hampton. 11 Alive's Molly Oaks spoke with those who live there and had to go on lockdown.
Everyone I talked with spoke about the sense of community you feel here in Hampton. It's a small, tight-knit town that was rocked by this morning's news. Inside a shop filled with stories.
We talk to everyone and we hear everything before anybody else hears it, just because we have a place to sit down and drink coffee and talk and hear all the local gossip.
Today, what they heard sounded more like a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the Speakeasy Bookstore in Hampton.
And we've had helicopters and so many different agencies just racing through the town all day long.
Don Cannon and his wife moved their family here 11 years ago.
You could see our house if it wasn't for the church. We're that close.
Close in proximity, close in community.
And we've made so many close friends since we've moved here.
It's why Don started texting his loved ones right after the store went on lockdown.
Oh, absolutely. Daughter's first thing. We've got 7 daughters, 2 sons, and so the first thing we did was text all of them.
Don's son, Samuel.
It's shocking.
Shocked, because Hampton is home.
You know, and then something like this happens, and it kind of like shakes that perspective of like a calm, like hometown, like loving community.
A community of people they've grown to know. Now, Don and Samuel wait on the unknown, the victims.
They haven't released who it is yet, but I'm still worried to see the list of the people who it is, because we know most of the people here because we've had so many people come visit with us over the 11 years.
Sharing stories and love on Main Street in Hampton, now hit with heartbreak. And police have still not said who was killed in this morning's shooting. Stay with 11 Alive for updates. Reporting live in Hampton, Molly Oak, 11 Alive News.
All right, for the latest information, stay with 11alive.com, and you can stay updated from Henry County. On to the weather. It was a very hot day, and it will be the case all week long, but at night, a much different story, much cooler. Really very nice tonight, Nicole.
Yeah, not terrible out there, and especially as we bring in some slightly lower humidity, those nights are going to get even more comfortable, but we're not going to be able to shake this daytime heat. High temperatures today got up mainly into the low 90s, right around 93 in Atlanta. That's a little bit above where we typically are for this time of year, but our average high is 90. So it's pretty much spot on for what is appropriate and typical for us in mid-July. Right now, it's a comfortable evening. We're looking out towards the King and the Queen, and our temperature is down to 81 degrees in Atlanta, but with that humidity, still feels like about 85 degrees. A few isolated showers and storms developed earlier this afternoon, but right now we're not really seeing anything on the radar in our neck of the woods. We do have some storms down towards the southeast, as well as some isolated activity that I'm watching into Tennessee, and this is moving down towards the southeast, so if it holds together, may move into the Atlanta metro area, or at least far northeast Georgia over the next couple hours. Rain chances, however, very, very low through the overnight hours, and anything that lingers will clear out by tomorrow morning. We'll wake up to morning temperatures in the low to mid 70s, right around 74 degrees in Atlanta. We are going to be cranking up the heat into this upcoming week, but just how hot is it going to get? I'll answer that question coming up.
Only at 11, police have arrested a murder suspect just 2 days after he sparked an hours-long SWAT standoff at a South Fulton home. 31-year-old Rodney Jarrell was believed to be holding several hostages at the time. This happened Thursday along Lamp Post Place, which is inside a neighborhood near Hapeville's charter school. Police believe that Jarrell left the home prior to when officers arrived on the scene. One person killed during the standoff. Police have not yet identified that victim. A 16-year-old boy shot and killed while he was working at a DeKalb County restaurant at the time. This was at the IHOP on Panola Road in Lithonia, just off I-20. DeKalb County police say the victim and suspect knew each other. They were involved in some sort of an argument prior to the suspect pulling out a weapon and then shooting the boy in the head. Right now, it's unclear who the suspect is or if they have him in custody. An employee who works at that restaurant location said the IHOP will be closed until Monday. Now to a developing story, this out of Alabama. This is what it looked like today along I-459 in the Birmingham suburb of Hoover. Police cars lined up on the side of the road. It was here where authorities believe that 25-year-old Carly Nicole Russell is believed to have gone missing. Now, this case has some Atlanta ties, perhaps, as family members tell 11 Alive. Her parents drove up last night but are now back home in Alabama. Here's what we know. Police say she left work on Thursday night, and then it's believed that she saw a toddler walking on the side of the interstate. Russell then stopped to check on the child, called a family member. During that call, contact was lost, but the line stayed open. Officers found Russell's car, some of her belongings, but no sign of her or of the child. Carly's father says he wants to keep her name front and center as the search rolls on.
We really want this to blow up. We want the word of the day to be Carly. We just want to have her back home safe.
An anonymous donor has offered $20,000 for her safe return. That is in addition to a $5,000 reward from Crime Stoppers. All new tonight, the College Park Police Department trying to keep guns out of the wrong hands. The department spent this Saturday collecting unwanted firearms out at the Hampshire Plaza, that's along Camp Creek Parkway. They were joined by several other organizations, including the Atlanta chapter of the NAACP. We talked with one man who turned in an old weapon and says it was simply the right thing to do.
Well, I ain't got no need for it, so I'm sitting around the house catching dust, so bring it back for somebody breaking the house and stealing it and put it on the street.
Those who came out and gave up a gun received a gift card up to $100 in value. All right, we got through Saturday. Not much rain anywhere in North Georgia, but now the heat is on. Our meteorologist Nicole Hartman will break down how high the thermometer will rise in the coming days. That's after these breaks.